Ladies and gentlemen, imagine a night so dazzling, so unexpected, that it rewrites the very definition of a power couple. At the Golden Lotus Awards 2025, Xu Kai and Tan Songyun didn't just take home trophies, they captured hearts, ignited hope, and left an entire continent breathless. This isn't just a story about fame, it's a story about destiny. At the 2025 Golden Lotus Awards, the Venetian Theatre in Macau was alive with light and anticipation. The air was thick with the usual sounds of a red carpet evening, camera shutters clicking in rapid bursts, reporters calling out for attention, and fans pressing forward in the hope of a glimpse of their idols. Yet amid the glamour and chaos, a sudden shift in atmosphere occurred. It was the kind of silence that carries more weight than noise, the kind that signals the arrival of something extraordinary. When Xu Kai and Tan Songyun appeared, walking side by side, the night seemed to pause. Xu Kai's presence was commanding, his black tuxedo tailored with precision, carrying subtle golden embroidery that reflected under the spotlight. He embodied the essence of confidence, not through arrogance but through a quiet strength that resonated with the crowd. Every step he took was measured, deliberate, as though he were walking not only across a carpet but into history. By his side, Tan Songyun seemed to embody the very definition of grace. Dressed in a silk gown that caught the light in ripples of champagne hues, she moved with elegance, her expression soft but radiant. The gown, adorned with delicate embroidery, spoke not of excess but of timeless beauty, and her presence beside Xu Kai created a harmony that felt almost cinematic. The impact of their joint arrival reached beyond the glitter of fashion. To the audience, to the industry, and to their devoted fans, this was more than two actors attending a ceremony. It was a moment layered with unspoken meaning. For years, whispers of their chemistry had floated across interviews, dramas, and shared appearances. Their arrival together felt less like coincidence and more like confirmation, an acknowledgement that their bond, whatever its true nature, was undeniable. The cameras may have captured their outward beauty, but those present felt something deeper, a connection that went beyond performance. As the flashbulbs continued to ignite, the scene carried the quality of a love story unfolding in real time. It was not scripted, not rehearsed, but born from authenticity. Their appearance hand in hand told a story without words, and in that instant, it was as though the world glimpsed a truth usually kept behind closed doors. The Golden Lotus Awards began as a celebration of cinema, but with their arrival, it transformed into something more, an unforgettable prelude to a night that would redefine both their careers and their place in the hearts of millions. The atmosphere inside the Venetian Theatre reached its peak when the moment of recognition finally arrived. The Golden Lotus Awards had already delivered glamour and spectacle, but what unfolded next felt like history in motion. 3 awards were announced, and with each revelation, the story of Xu Kai and Tan Songyun took on a new and profound meaning. When Xu Kai's name was called as Best Actor, the audience erupted in thunderous applause. His performance in The Glory of Mountains and Rivers had been praised by critics for its depth and emotional honesty, but the acknowledgement in this moment felt different. He stood tall, his expression wavering between pride and disbelief, as though the weight of years of dedication had suddenly crystallized into this single triumph. His voice trembled when he spoke, his words carrying gratitude, but also a personal vulnerability that touched everyone in the hall. Soon after, the focus shifted to Tan Songyun. Her name was called as Best Actress, and for a brief second she appeared frozen, her wide eyes reflecting both shock and humility. The applause rose again, filling the hall with warmth and affirmation. Her role in Whispers of Spring had required tenderness and courage, qualities she naturally possessed, and in accepting her award she radiated sincerity. She smiled through tears, acknowledging her family, her fans, and a presence that had given her strength. The intimacy of her words struck a chord that went far beyond the applause. It was not merely about recognition, it was about a journey of faith, resilience, and the courage to embrace vulnerability. But the night held one more revelation. When the award for Most Popular On-Screen Couple was announced, the two walked together to the stage, their hands intertwined in a gesture that spoke louder than any acceptance speech. In that instant, the theater transformed from a space of ceremony to a stage for something timeless. Their chemistry, long admired by fans, was no longer confined to the boundaries of scripts or characters. It was alive, undeniable, and celebrated by a community of admirers who had always believed in them. The applause that followed was not just for two actors, but for the story they had created together, one of art, perseverance, and perhaps something more. The triple triumph was not simply about awards, it was about destiny unfolding before the world's eyes. The theater had already witnessed its share of magic, yet nothing prepared the audience for the words that would echo long after the lights dimmed. XuKai stood on the stage, golden trophy in hand, his usually steady composure softened by the enormity of the moment. His voice faltered, not from weakness but from the weight of emotions he could no longer keep hidden. He spoke of doubt, of nights when he questioned his own worth, and then his gaze shifted toward Tan Songyun. In front of thousands, with millions watching beyond the walls of the theater, he acknowledged her not as a co-star but as the quiet force who had steadied his path. "To you," he said, his voice unsteady yet resolute, "thank you for always being there." The line was simple, but the tremor in his tone transformed it into something intimate, a confession dressed as gratitude, and the audience knew they had just witnessed something real. Moments later, Tan Songyun took her turn at the microphone, her delicate frame trembling under the spotlight. She clutched her award as though it carried not only recognition but the weight of every step that had brought her there. Her voice, clear yet quivering with emotion, reached every corner of the hall. She thanked her fans and family, but then her words shifted into something deeper, more personal. She spoke of a quiet strength that had carried her when her own belief faltered, a strength that she had found not in solitude but in the presence of someone who never left her side. Those listening could sense the unspoken truth. Her gratitude was not abstract, it was directed. Her smile through tears told a story that words only hinted at. And then came the moment that silenced the hall. Amid the applause, XuKai leaned close, his lips brushing near her ear, and whispered something that made her eyes well with sudden tears. Fans may not have caught the words in their entirety, but the look on her face told all that was needed. Straightening, he turned back to the microphone and spoke with disarming honesty. "I'm proud to walk with you," he said, his voice steady now, "not just on screen but maybe, through life too." The theater fell into stillness, the kind of silence that hangs before an explosion. Then the eruption came, cheers, gasps, and a wave of emotion that transcended language. In those few sentences, they had broken the invisible wall between performance and reality, transforming an awards show into the setting for a love story that felt achingly authentic. The internet was set ablaze. #GoldenCouple 2025 trended in multiple countries. Fans edited videos within hours, transforming clips into love stories. Critics praised their sincerity, saying, "They've turned stardom into something human, something real." Even families spoke out. XuKai's mother called Tan Songyun a gem, while her parents admired XuKai's strength and kindness. When family stands behind love, it feels undeniable. But here's where the story gets even more exciting. Rumors swirl of a new joint drama project, an emotionally rich script written just for them. Industry insiders whisper about a potential press conference, perhaps even a collaboration that blurs the line between real and real. And fans? They're already dreaming bigger: brand endorsements, charity projects, maybe even a future where this couple becomes more than a symbol on screen. What makes this story so powerful isn't just the glitz of awards. It's the authenticity. In a world where celebrity news often feels staged, XuKai and Tan Songyun gave us something rare: truth. They reminded us that behind the lights, the gowns, the applause, there are two hearts beating in rhythm. Two souls daring to share a little piece of themselves with the world.
Closing the call to action. So, what do you think?
Is this the dawn of a new chapter for China's most beloved on-screen couple? Could this be the moment when fantasy finally meets reality? One thing is certain: XuKai and Tan Songyun have shown us that sometimes, the greatest love stories aren't written in scripts, they're lived on stage. Glowing Star, thank you for watching News Stars CN. If you felt the magic tonight, don't forget to hit subscribe, give this video a like, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a story that moves the world.
Together, let's keep celebrating the Star Wars Romain US of love, hope and destiny.